We've all seen those beautifully curated Instagram posts about Tulum and how amazing Tulum is. But the thing is, we don't necessarily think that Tulum is that great. So in this video, we're going to be sharing exactly why we feel that way.
And if you stick around till the end of this video, we're going to be sharing the common scams you should know about.
If you've never heard of Tulum before, this little beach town located on the Mexican Caribbean coast of Quintana Roo recently shot to stardom as the place to be for digital nomads.
It's safe to say that Tulum has transformed from what was once a virtually unknown fishing village into an expat's paradise.
If you're looking for a brutally honest review on what Tulum is actually like, you've clicked on the right video.
Well, we have arrived in the trendy Instagram spot of Tulum.
But we're in Tulum town. We're not at the Tulum beach zone. If you're thinking of the Instagram version of Tulum, that would definitely be the beach zone, but we are starting our day off in Tulum town. So the first mission of our day is to go and find some place to go and grab a coffee.
Tulum.
We're in Tulum. On first glance, we are actually pretty impressed with the prices here. They're not too bad. But this is something to take note of now, what we're paying here while we're in town versus what we will be paying at the beach zone, which is going to be significantly different. So I got a fresh orange and carrot juice, and you've only got un cafecito. How do you know you're in Tulum?
Because of the swing?
If there's swings all outside the restaurant, you're in Tulum. So in the last 2 years that Giovanni and I have not been here, there's been massive expansion in Tulum, and a lot of that has got to do with the increase in popularity on Instagram and TikTok and all of that. But something we've noticed here is there is a lot of construction work. The sidewalks are actually almost unwalkable.
There's like machinery on the main road because they want to change the aspect of the touristic area of Tulum.
We have no idea what the beach area is going to look like in terms of construction, but in terms of town, sidewalks are crazy. Very nice.
Soy el pollo loco.
El pollo.
No, pollo bronco, no loco.
You're a pollo loco.
Polo.
Pollo. We managed to find this random little stall that's got like 2 random little bikes that they'll rent to us. Gracias. That they will rent to us without having a passport, which is great.
We are on our way to go to one of the cenotes here in Tulum. Simone is ready to ride her bicycle. She's one of the best bicycle riders I ever seen in my life.
Lying, I'm the worst. When we first arrived here this morning, I was like, oh, you know what I love about Tulum is the fact that, so at least in town, they've got the little bicycle lanes. But then it rained, and now all the bicycle lanes are heavily flooded.
Seems like the bike line has ended, so we are going in the highway right now.
Which I don't know is the safest option. If you didn't want to ride a bicycle, your only other option really would be a taxi. But we're going to get into the taxi situation a little bit later, so hold on to your bootstraps.
Well, after quite a few kilometers down the highway, we stopped on one of the cenotes. We actually came before. We are not going to get inside to the cenote for this reason.
Because Giovanni's local, and he's not just local from Mexico, he's actually local from the state. For other cenotes that are not in Tulum, there's always a local rate. Here, there's no local rate. It's just one flat rate. The locals who actually live here, grew up here, can't even come to these places that they should be able to come to.
It's sad, but it's true. After our unsuccessful cenote
expedition,
we're
currently on the road that takes you from Tulum town to Tulum beach zone. And let me just tell you, 2 years ago when we were here, we took our bicycles, we rode down this road, and it was just one straight road. There were no outlets going anywhere off the road. We've been on the road for like 3 minutes now, and we've already seen 2 separate residential areas that you can drive into, as well as a whole lot of development that's going up on that side. They're basically tearing down massive portions of the jungle right now, which is really sad to see. I'd say in the next 5 to 10 years, that big chunk of jungle that we used to see is going to be no longer.
See you there.
Bye.
Bye.
We've got our first glimpse of the ocean, and as expected, there's a lot of sargassum. This is now not only Tulum, this is the entire region of the Riviera Maya. I would say if you really are coming here for the beaches, avoid sargassum season altogether. We are going to try still hop into the ocean because we're both sweaty and disgusting, and I'd really like to get in the ocean. So we're going to cycle down a little bit further and see if we can get beach access. As you eventually reach a point on this road where it's actually just straight up not safe to ride your bicycle. Never mind the potholes. The potholes are insane. If it were to rain, I wouldn't ride a bicycle here. And you guys can see how much space there is between like you and the cars and all of the scooters and the other people on their bicycles. We're not just making a negative video just to be negative. Giovanni and I really love Mexico, and we've traveled extensively through this region and we love this region, but Tulum is just not it for us. Like, unless you've got a car, I don't know about traveling down this beach road. The concept of this place, they've like built it kind of out of shipping containers. Very cool, very creative.
For like maybe an hour.
Yeah, because we're here in September, this is considered slow season. I don't know if that's the reason why we didn't get charged consumption or entrance, but if you look at the prices of the food,
The time we went to Mexico City, we were paying like for 5 tacos, I think was 20 pesos.
$1.
$1.
These are US prices, but in Mexico. One cocktail, 300 pesos. One burger, another 350 pesos.
I think it's because Tulum has become very popular. I think they feel entitled to put their own prices. I think it's one of the reasons why Tulum is quite expensive.
Yeah,
Considered exclusive as well.
yeah. Perfecto. Beer, my love?
And here,
Refresco. That means refreshing, right?
refrescante.
Refrescante.
Refresco is soda
Okay,
or pop.
so this pop is muy refrescante. Fresh.
Okay, Malif?
So nice.
The sargassum it's pretty bad, eh?
It is, yeah. Gracias.
¿Algo más que gusten por el momento?
In terms of food,
In terms of food quality, I'd give this place like an 8 or 9 out of 10. Very good.
I'm actually impressed. I never thought that the beach club was going to be that quiet, but
Beach club is nice, but unfortunately, the water is not the greatest. It's actually not too bad right now with the sargassum, but it's not these like blue Caribbean waters that you expect to see in the Mexican Caribbean, unfortunately.
yeah, on the other hand, if you come to one of these beach clubs, most likely they're going to have like a pool that you can use. But I mean, the main reason you come to the Mexican Caribbean is to be at the Caribbean Sea, but with the sargassum, makes it not comfortable.
Yeah, if you guys are specifically looking for those beautiful blue Caribbean waters, we've got one place that you can go pretty much all year round, and you're going to see the most incredible turquoise stunning waters. If you want to see that, you're going to want to check out our Isla Mujeres guide up here or in our bio. We're about to see something really cool, I think. Oh wow, just jungle, 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 and then the ocean. Really beautiful view up here, and you just see jungle for kilometers and kilometers and kilometers over there. Look at this tree, wow, it's huge. It's providing shade for the entire road.
It's something that drives Simon's crazy. Tulum clothes.
Something about the clothing here in the beach zone. Number one, it's freaking beautiful. Number two, most of it is linen, which who doesn't love linen? Number three, I just want all of it.
¿Cuánto cuesta aquí al pueblo? $30. Okay.
¿Cuántos kilómetros?
25 minutos.
Ah, como 25 minutos. Ah,
Okay.
okay. Gracias.
I totally get why people are so attracted to Tulum. I mean, what you see on Instagram, beautiful Caribbean ocean when there's no sargassum, the beautiful Mayan jungle. There is so much untouched Mayan jungle here for now. And it really is a really stunning part of the world. But the thing about Tulum is it's not Mexico. It's in Mexico, but it's not Mexico. It's just kind of like this little slice of the Riviera Maya that someone has taken, packaged into this made up little fantasy world and marketed it to foreign guests who are willing to pay absolutely ridiculous prices considering the fact that we are in Mexico.
When I was young, I used to come to Tulum pretty much every day, and the place has changed drastically. This is not the Tulum that I used to see, and the locals of Tulum will probably say the same. So hot. Careful, 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 careful.
I'm such a bad bicycle rider. The thing to know about the hotel zone is it's literally just that one single strip that we showed you. Whereas town is much bigger than the hotel zone, but within town you'll still get the one like touristic strip where you'll find all of the souvenir stores, and then if you go off of that main strip, you're going to find yourself in a street that kind of looks like this.
And basically, town is where the locals live.
And a lot of expats. There's a lot of expats living here.
Tulum town has more like that authenticity of Mexico, so you feel more like, okay, this is more like a little town in Mexico, exactly, because the beach area and here are completely in a two different worlds.
Yeah, Tulum town is still pretty authentically Mexican, although it's a lot more commercialized than other smaller towns in Mexico, but it still will give you a kind of good taste of what Mexico is like. Obviously, we've done a hell of a lot of cycling in the sun today, so we're coming over to look for some dinner. That's good. Yeah. Perfect. So Giovanni ended up finding a very local place, which is very cool. We don't want to just be talking negatively about Tulum because we feel like if you stay in town, you've really got a good chance of experiencing authentic Mexico. We thought that we would have a hard time finding an authentic Mexican restaurant. However, we found one just one block away from like the tourist strip, which is quite cool.
You don't have to go further from the main strip to find a restaurant where the locals eat.
This one is called La Picadita Jarocha. Did I say that right? Did I?
Yeah. Only in Mexico.
Muchísimas gracias. Gracias. What did you get?
Enchiladas de mole with mince inside.
And I got tacos de chorizo.
A little bit sweet.
Here's a pro tip. They'll always give you a salsa verde and a salsa roja, so green sauce and a red sauce on the table. Never just put it on your food. Always just dot it a little bit on your hand and taste it first. Sometimes the red sauce is the spiciest, sometimes the green sauce is the spiciest. You really are not going to know until you try. Nice little taco de chorizo. Not Mexico City, no.
Quality.
But not Mexico City quality, but not bad. As much as we complained about the Tulum beach zone, I actually must say I don't mind Tulum town. It's very slow paced, the people are pretty chill, like it's very walkable. I actually would say that personally Tulum town is worth visiting and the beach zone is worth visiting just for like an hour or two, but I would give town 2 days, 2 to 3 days to really explore. So as promised in the beginning of the video, we said we'd be sharing the most common scams to know about, so hopefully you can avoid them when you visit Tulum.
Number one, taxis. Seems like the prices for the taxis to go from Tulum beach zone to Tulum town or vice versa is around $30
One way.
one way. But in order to avoid to pay even more, ask the taxi how much they will charge you before you hop into the taxi.
Yes. We've seen it, we've heard from our friends before, they just hop into taxis and then these taxi drivers make up some ridiculous number by the time they need to get out of the taxi, and then you're bound to paying that. And number two would be restaurants. Just when it comes time to paying your check, just be very vigilant. It happens very often in the Riviera Maya and it's happened to us before as well. We were out eating in a group of 5. Halfway through dinner, a couple left, but they had actually paid their check, their portion of the check via card. The server at the end of the night came to our table and said they hadn't paid their check, so then we obviously all ended up paying for that again in cash, which goes straight into the server's pocket. So just be very vigilant of that. So as you can see, Tulum is not all that bad, but it's definitely not what it's cracked up to be on Instagram. If you are thinking of traveling to this region, Giovanni and I have traveled this region extensively and we've made videos on every single destination in this region. You'll want to check out our Riviera Maya playlist if you're thinking of coming here to decide if Tulum is really the spot for you.
If you enjoyed today's video, please don't forget to give us a big thumbs up, subscribe to our channel. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, share this video with your friends who want to travel to Mexico. And that being said, we'll see you in the next video.
Hasta luego.
Join us in the next episode where we share a peek into our daily living and go over how much it costs us to live in Mexico.
Small one, right?
Yeah. Apple cider vinegar.